What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. Huge thank you to Josh Brown over at Stohlman Subaru of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Outback or any Subaru product, I'll be sure to have Josh's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. With that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT, and this particular one has been painted in crystal white pearl. I wanted to preface this video by saying there have been no changes to the Outback for the 2024 model year other than a couple cosmetic things on the Wilderness, but to the Touring XT, nothing has changed. So, as standard with the Touring XT, you get LED steering responsive headlights with high beam assist, as well as LED daytime running lights, standard turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now, taking a step to the left, this is what the front end of the Touring XT looks like. So you do get a satin black front grille with two gray grille bars on the right and the left side of your Subaru logo. Just beneath your Subaru logo is where you will find your front 180-degree view camera. That does come standard on the Touring XT. And then you also get a satin black lower fascia down here, as well as some satin black cladding that flares in just beneath your headlights. Here's a closer view of what that looks like on this side as well. And then last but not least, you get a silver front chin and 8.7 inches of ground clearance. But like I mentioned, you do get that satin black front fascia, and that satin black front fascia leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. Here's a view of these wheels, and these are the standard and only wheels you can get on the Touring XT, and they are 18-inch gray with machine finished wheels wrapped in 225/60 Yokohama Avid GT all-season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires as best that I can there real quick. And then this vehicle has also been optioned with the $198 splash guards, which can be found behind all four of your wheels and tires, and that is what that thing is right there. Also, as standard with the Touring XT, you do get a windshield wiper deicer. But coming on down the side, you do get satin chrome mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. You will find your blind spot monitoring on the inside of both of your mirrors. And then you also do get memory functions. So with the Touring XT, you get two driver seat memory functions. So not only does it memorize the driver seat settings, it will also memorize your exterior mirror settings as well. And then this vehicle has also been optioned with the $298 exterior auto dimming mirrors with the approach lights. So that is the approach light, essentially a puddle light. And then let's say, a car comes up behind you at night with their high beams on. Both of these side view mirrors will auto dim, so it takes a little bit of the stress off your eyes when driving at night when people don't pay attention when they leave their high beams on. But here's a little side profile shot of the Outback, kind of part SUV, kind of part wagon. I'd say it's like a mix between the two. I know when I say it's an SUV, a lot of people get mad, but it really is kind of a mix of an SUV and a station wagon. But up top here, you get a mix of satin black and silver for your roof rails, and you also do get integrated retractable crossbars. So I'll show you that up top here. Basically, all you would have to do is unscrew that, and these would kind of go like that. Same thing on that side as well. But yeah, that is what those are for. So basically, this would go maybe in the back, and then the other one would go here in the front, and then you'd have two crossbars. So that is the premise behind that. Then you get some satin chrome window trim. You get body color door handles with that chrome strip and keyless access. Just keep in mind the keyless access function is only on your front two door handles. The rear two door handles do not get that keyless access function. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get that satin black door cladding at the bottom of all of your passenger doors. And then you get the silver Outback script on the rear two doors only. Coming around back, here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. That is what she looks like here from the back. Up top here, you have your satin black shark fin antenna, but you also do get a camera in there as well, which I'll try to pick up right about there. It's not really coming up all that well, but anyways, that camera that is basically about right there works with your digital rear view mirror, and that digital rear view mirror does come standard with the Touring XT. I'll show you more of that when we move into the interior, but you also do get a body color roof spoiler. Coming around back, you have your integrated third brake light here. You get a rear window defroster, a single speed rear wiper. Here's a view of what the taillights look like when they are on. And then coming around back, here's a little booty shot. You can see you got your Subaru logo. You have your backup camera. You get chrome badging for the Subaru and all that kind of stuff on that side. And then the Outback and the Touring XT badging. One thing though, is that with the Touring XT, you do get a hands-free power liftgate with height memory. So you can either put your hand underneath here, you'll feel for a little pad and you press on that pad and the liftgate will open up. But let's say you wanted to use the hands-free function. All you have to do is put your hand about right there and the liftgate will open up. You do not want to touch the Subaru logo because it won't work that way. You basically just want to hover your hand in front of it and it will pop open. As you may be able to tell, back here, you get this retractable cargo cover. So basically you can lock that in place. Let's say you're in a sketchy area, you can pull this and basically when people look in the trunk, they can't see what you have in the trunk. Closing that back up, you get a little hook right there for grocery bags. Another hook on this side as well for grocery bags. And then you can see you get a little door handle looking thing here and here. And if you pulled on that, the second row seats will drop, as you may be able to see. And then you get some fold flat storage space. Same thing on this side as well. I'm not going to drop that seat though. But this vehicle has been optioned with the $141 all-weather floor mats, which are basically rubber floor mats, which is what this is here. I believe the cargo tray comes standard because I didn't see this priced on the window sticker. So it's basically a floor mat for the trunk area. And then as standard with the XT, Touring XT, you do get a Harman Kardon sound system. So you get a speaker back here. Then you get a little net and some storage space, little storage cubby on the passenger side of the trunk. You also get a 12-volt power outlet on the passenger side of the trunk. And if you lift it up on all of this stuff underneath here, pull up on this, you'll find your jack and all your tow hooks and all that kind of stuff. But if you keep digging, you will find your spare tire underneath there. So this does come with a spare tire, definitely nice to see. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. But if I take a step back, this vehicle has been optioned with the $168 rear bumper cover, which is what this piece is right here. So let's say you load a bunch of stuff in here. Instead of scratching up your paint, that is what this is here. It's basically to protect. So you're scratching up this piece of plastic, which is replaceable, instead of scratching up the paint where you'd have to repaint. So that is a nice thing. If you know your kids load stuff up, they're not going to be scratching up the paint. It's just a nice little thing here. And then you also do get an LED light here on your hatch as well. And then if you press that button, the liftgate will close. And then you also get a lock button that you can lock the vehicle on the liftgate as well. But finishing things off here at the rear end, you do get a satin black rear bumper. You get 4 integrated parking sensors. You get that silver accent trim that does complement the front. You also get those 2 reflectors on the outsides of the bumper. And last but not least, all the XT models, including the Wilderness, get a 3,500 pound max tow capacity. So you could tow a jet ski or 2, or maybe a small boat. So this thing is rather capable. But on the passenger side, you do have your filler neck. You do not get a capless filler neck, but your filler neck is on the passenger rear side of the vehicle. And that's kind of about it for the exterior of the Touring XT. So with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.4 liter turbo boxer 4-cylinder that makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a high torque Lineartronic CVT for a 0 to 60 time in 6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway for 25 miles per gallon combined with standard all-wheel drive. Take a look at how easy it is to unscrew your oil filter. It's literally right here without having to go underneath the engine and unscrew it on your back. I think that is very nice, and that makes oil changes very, very easy to do. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything from the video, please just take a second to give the video a thumbs up, to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and hit that subscribe button. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. But only do those 3 things if you're actually enjoying the video. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it by running your finger across these two little lines right here, and now it is locked. I wanted to walk you through a couple of the functions on the key fob. Starting from the top, you have your lock function. The Subaru logo is your unlock function. Then you have your power liftgate function and your panic function all the way down at the bottom. But let's see what the interior of the Touring XT has to offer. So with the Touring XT, you have the option of either black or brown Napa leather seats. This one, as you may be able to tell, has been optioned with the black Napa leather seats. Napa leather does come standard. You can either choose the black or the brown. I've seen a lot of people in my comments really want brown or more brown options on different Outback trim levels and Forester trim levels. So with the Touring XT, you do get the option of the brown. But now taking a look at the door panel here on the Touring XT, you get a nicely padded armrest, some accent colored stitching, some vinyl wrapping up top here, a chrome looking door handle, some piano black trim surrounding that, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. This button right here is going to power fold in your side view mirrors. This is your side view mirror controls or your adjustments. Then you have your unlock and your lock functions, automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. Pressing on that button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get a spot you could set your phone, some storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and as standard, you do get a Harman Kardon premium sound system. Now, taking a look at these seats again, as standard, you do get a 12-way power adjustable driver seat with 4-way power lumbar and a thigh extension. So driver gets a thigh extension. The front passenger does not get a thigh extension, but you do get an 8-way power front passenger seat, and both headrests are adjustable forwards and backwards with about 4 or 5 levels of adjustability with these headrests. I love that about Subarus. It seems like, well, at least on the new Impreza and on the new Crosstrek, they did away with the adjustable headrests like forwards and backwards, which doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, let's fire this thing up. That is what it sounds like when you fire this thing up. But you may be able to hear that the climate control system is blowing. So if you wanted to turn that off, you click that button right there, but you got to wait a little bit because the climate controls are throughout the screen, and I'll get into that here in a second. But coming over to here, you get an HVAC vent, and then down here you have your power liftgate function. This this like scroll knob here is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons, and this is going to turn your hands-free power liftgate on or off. Coming down to here, flip that down. That gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You can bring it towards you, you can push it away from you, and you can push it up and down as well. I'm gonna lock that back into position. Now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like, but not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is also your headlight control stock and your fog light control stock. So right now, that is headlights off, that's headlights automatic, that's parking lights on, and all the way up is headlights in the always on position, and that is fog lights off, fog lights on. However, let's say I'm in the automatic position and my headlights are not actually on, which they are not on at the moment. Even though my fog lights are in the always on position, the fog lights are not actually going to be on until either the automatic headlights turn on, then the fog lights would turn on. But if you wanted them to be on, you have to have them in the headlights always on position, and the headlights are on, and now the fog lights are on. So that is the fog lights on, headlights on. Right now, headlights automatic. You can see the headlights are not on, so the fog lights are not on. So zooming back out, you do get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like on the Outback. You also do get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Downshift paddle on the left, upshift paddle on the right. And now let's go throughout the steering wheel. By the way, the steering wheel is also heated as standard with the Touring XT. And then you also do get heated and ventilated front seats as standard with this vehicle, as well as heated outboard second row seats. So just something I figured I may point out to you now. Coming over to here, this is to go forwards and or backwards on a track. This is to switch between your different audio sources. This little like control right here is to control the productivity screen located at the center of the dash. That is to pick up on a phone call. That is to mute the audio system as well as hang up on a phone call. Then that is to speak to the vehicle. Volume controls down here. Come over to here and I pull up on that, that is going to turn the heated steering wheel on. Click up on that again, that is going to turn the heated steering wheel back off. I'm going to leave it on here because it is getting kind of chilly out. And then on this side of the steering wheel, the Outback, all the Outbacks come standard with Subaru EyeSight, the EyeSight suite of features. So you do get advanced adaptive cruise control with lane centering. So this is like your adaptive cruise control. These are your adaptive cruise control settings. And then you also have your windshield wiper control stock for your front windshield wipers and your rear wiper. By the way, I failed to mention this. The rear wiper also gets a wiper deicer, as well as the front also obviously get the windshield wiper deicers. But moving on into our gauge cluster, on the left-hand side, you have your tachometer, as well as also known as your RPM gauge. Then you have your coolant temperature gauge, speedometer on the right, fuel gauge on the right. And then this is your productivity screen, so you can change what you see on the center screen. So up top here, this is your instant fuel economy stuff. Right now, this is displaying your audio stuff, your driver assistance stuff, the current speed, trip A information, 89.1, and then you have your odometer all the way at the bottom. See that little like eye right there in green? That is for your driver focus system. So if you came over to here, this right here is reading your eyes when you're driving down the road. So let's say I'm driving down the road and I see a cow over there, right? And I'm paying attention to the cow while I'm still driving. Let's say I focus on it for 3 seconds, right? It's going to say, keep eyes ahead or something like that. And it's going to give you a little auditory beep, letting you know that, hey, you got to focus. So, and then also if you're like playing on your phone, it's going to flash red and it's going to say like, pay attention or stay alert or something like that. Basically, it's always monitoring your eyes, and it lets you know like if you're not paying attention. It does a good job at doing that because, you know, sometimes you're not paying full attention when you should be. Then you have your transmission status stuff there. And again, to go throughout that screen, I'm just going to click down here. You get your time and your temperature. Then you have your average A information and your fuel range. Some more analytical data stuff. Then you have the auto stop start system, counting how long the vehicle has been off for with the auto stop start system on this trip, and then also how much fuel it has been saved on that trip with the auto stop start system. Then you have your tire pressure monitoring stuff, your compass, your navigation stuff, your audio stuff. Personally, I'd probably leave the time and the temperature because, you know, that's what I would like to have. But anyways, down here you have your push button, start button. Coming over to here again, this is where it reads your eyes, your driver focus system. And then coming down to here with the Touring XT, you do get the Starlink 11.6-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. But before I get into the screen, you have a couple physical controls on the outsides of the screen. So this is your hazard button. This is your volume control knob. If you just press on that, that is going to mute the audio system. But if you press and hold on this, this is going to turn the screen off. If I press and hold on it again, it's going to cancel that and it's not going to turn off. And then you have your front defroster there, your driver temperature controls, trying to pick it up on camera right there, passenger temperature controls right there, rear defroster. This is your tuning knob, but if I press and hold on that, that is going to bring me into my bass, my treble, and my mid, as well as my balance and my fader. So if I click here, you can see your balance and your fader for your Harman Kardon sound system, and then it'll let you know if your passenger airbag is on or off there. But going throughout the screen, this is what the screen looks like. You got your temperature, you got your time, you have all of these different screens up top here. So right now this is your X mode screen. Then you have your weather, you have your acceleration percentage, fuel consumption, and your pitch and roll stuff. It's not pitch and roll, I think that's just your pitch. And then you have your navigation stuff and your audio stuff. But come down here, this is what the home screen looks like. You can pop into Apple CarPlay by clicking on that there. And then swiping over this way, you can see your car information stuff. So you can see either the pitch and roll stuff, or you can go into your maintenance. You can see all of your different maintenance things there. You can also turn the display off by pressing on that button there. I'm not going to do that because if I press and hold on that, it's going to cancel that again. Then your auto vehicle hold function. So basically, auto vehicle hold is like, let's say you're in traffic, it's super trafficy. If you turn that on, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system when that is on. Very nice feature. Then this is to turn your traction control system on or off. And then you can add a shortcut. You get your valet mode stuff. Coming down to here, you get your settings. So you get your general settings, your sound settings, your navigation settings. You can click over, then you get your phone settings, radio settings, car settings. I'm not going to go throughout all that stuff. Actually, I will show you the car settings. So this is some of your car stuff. You can go throughout all of these settings here. You can pause your screen if you want to and read through all of that stuff, but I'm not going to go through it because it's going to make the video too long. Clicking on this is going to pop up your vehicle control, so you can go up between all of these different things. You can go into your driver assistance stuff, or you can go into some more settings there. That button is going to turn your auto stop start system on or off. Then you have your home button. This is going to bring up your paired phones. Right now, me and Elijah's phones are connected. And then you have your driver profiles, which right now there are no driver profiles set because nobody owns this vehicle yet. So if you want your driver profile on this vehicle, I'll let you be the first one to set that up. So coming down here, like I mentioned, Touring XT, you do get the heated and the ventilated seats as standard. Both get 3 levels of adjustability. Boom, boom, boom. And then this is always on the screen, right? So this is your climate control stuff. Like I said, you get no physical climate controls other than the temperature controls, the front defroster, and the rear defroster. But if you wanted the climate controls to take up the entire screen, you'd click right here and boom, they'll take up the entire screen. And that is what your climate control system looks like when it is throughout the entire screen. And that's kind of about it for that screen. You also get your electronic parking brake. Let's say you have your parking brake on. If you wanted to disengage it, you'd have to push your foot down on the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. And then coming over to here, you get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, and an auxiliary jack. Then you can also set your phone down in there if you wanted to. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, but I gotta take this key fob out of here before I can set my phone down in there. So key fob is out, iPhone 14 Pro Max in, and you can see it fits down in there. Bigger phone on the market, it still fits. However, I think there is an optional wireless charging pad that you can get, and that is where the wireless charging pad would be on the Outback. Coming down to here, this is your shift knob. Go into drive, and you flip this over to the left. Then you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, because when you flip it to the left, that is your manual mode. But go back into park. This right here is going to pop up your front 180 degree view camera system. That is what that looks like there. I'll show you what the backup camera looks like. That is the backup camera. You get the guidance lines, and then you can turn the reverse automatic braking system on or off by clicking on that. And you can also turn your rear parking sensors on or off by clicking that there. But back into park and coming down just a little bit, you get these 2 cup holders. You get a nicely padded armrest, some accent colored stitching, and if you open this up, you get a spot here. You probably get like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of storage space. You could set business cards or something like that. But if I open this up one more time, you get a CD player. One thing that's interesting is the 24 Outback gets a CD player. However, the 2024 Forester, they did away with the CD player. So just something interesting. If you wanted a CD player on a Subaru, the Outback still has it, at least the Touring XT does. Then you also get a 12-volt power outlet down in there and a little bit of storage space, but I'd be mindful of what you're setting down in there. I'd say you probably get about 7 inches of depth and probably, 6 inches of storage space this way. So that is that. And then coming over to here, you get a little bit of storage space for the passenger to set their phone and maybe a key fob on that side as well. But other than that, you're not going to fit much more than that there. But you do get a lockable lower glove box, which is definitely nice to see. And you get a decent amount of storage space down in there. Right, you can set your owner's manual, you can set your utensils, some napkins, some straws, the essentials. When you maybe work out of your vehicle, you want to have all of those things, and you can fit that stuff down in there. And like I mentioned, so this vehicle does come standard with the digital rear view mirror. I pointed out where the digital rear view mirror was, or the digital rear view mirror camera was on the exterior. But this is what it looks like. So if I came over to here and I clicked this is going to adjust the brightness of it. So I can brighten it, I can dim it, I can click that one more time, I can move it up or down. Right now I'm moving it down, now I'm moving it up. Click that one more time, I can move it to the right, I can move it to the left, I'd leave it right in the center, and then you can also adjust the rotation of it. So tons of adjustability there with the digital rear view mirror. Honestly, I think this is some of the most adjustability I've ever seen on a digital rear view mirror in a vehicle. So let's say you really like the Touring XT, but you really don't like the digital rear view mirror. Well, I got something for you. You can flip this forward, and now it's just going to behave like an auto dimming rear view mirror. It's just like a regular mirror. It's auto dimming. You get your compass. You also have your universal garage door opener down here. You can open up 3 different garage bays individually with these 3 different buttons on the left hand side of your mirror. Personally, for me, I do like the digital rear view mirror because it rids you of your blind spots. So not only do you have the blind spot monitoring, but this really does help with the blind spot. So I personally like the digital rear view mirror. Then you get a spot you could set some sunglasses here. This vehicle has been optioned with the $107 interior LED light upgrade, which turns all of these lights here on the interior to LED. Then this is your roadside assistance stuff here. You see this? See where it says off? Now, if I open up the doors now, the lights will not turn on. But if I flip this to the left, when I open up the doors now, the interior lights will turn on. So basically when I open up the door, lights will turn on. However, flipped it to the right. Now when I open up the door, the lights will not turn on. So that is what those functions do. And as standard with the Touring XT, you do get a sunroof. It does tilt, which you push up for, and it will tilt. So all you gotta do is push up. And if you wanted to close it, you push forward. And if you want it to slide, you pull backwards, and then it will slide. Let's see how far the sunroof will go back. Can I pull it back one more time? Will it go any further back? Yes, it will. So that is about it for that sunroof there. No, you do not get a panoramic sunroof. But yeah, up top here, you get a little clip. You can set any small paper product. Opening this up, 2 vanity lights that are both LED. You get a vanity mirror, and this visor does slide forwards and backwards depending on where the sun is shining, and it goes quite a ways back. So very, very nice. Then the driver gets a no poop handle. The front passenger also gets a no poop handle. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So I really like the Outback. You know, I used to be like, not necessarily a Subaru hater, but I would never have considered a Subaru. But after doing probably 10, 20, 30, 40 videos of Subarus, I think I like the Outback the best, the way how it sits. It's very comfortable, very good to drive. It's the best handling one compared to the Forester. So if you're comparing the two, it handles better. I like the way that it sits better. I like the roof is a little bit lower on this. The Forester's roof seems a little bit too tall. And then with the Outback, you can get the turbo motor, where on the Forester, you cannot get the turbo motor. And that is a must for me if I was going to get an Outback. I probably wouldn't get a Subaru anyway, but if I were to get one, it would be an Outback with the XT motor. This being the loaded up model is definitely nice, but if I wanted to save a little bit of money, I'd maybe look into getting the Onyx Edition XT because it's still very nice. Maybe not have all the ventilated seats, the digital mirror, and all that kind of stuff, but it's still very nice. But if you want the loaded up model, this is the one to get. But I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at whatever you want to. I do want to highlight a couple things you get as standard. You get the Harman Kardon sound system. You get the adaptive cruise control with lane centering. You get the driver focus system, the front 180-degree view camera. You get the digital rear view mirror. You get the sunroof. You get the heated outboard second row seats. You get the heated and ventilated front seats, etc. Now I'm going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Outback Touring XT is spec'd is $45,002. I think this is a very nice vehicle for $45,000. It's loaded up. The only gripe I have with this vehicle is the fact that it does not have a 360-degree view camera system. I did a video with a CRV a couple weeks ago. I've done a video with a fully loaded CRV. That doesn't have a 360-degree view camera system either on the top dog trim level. I think that is a mistake, and I think Subaru and Honda, both of you, if anybody's from any of those manufacturers watching this video, you both need to get your stuff together, because every other manufacturer's got a 360-degree view camera system, and that's the only thing that's really holding you back, both of you, Honda and Subaru, from making your vehicle just that much better. So 360-degree view camera system is what I would like to see on the refreshed Outback whenever that may be coming. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So this is what the rear door panel looks like. Again, you get automatic up and down windows here in the back, and the window does go all the way down. You get a nicely padded armrest. That's the speed the window goes up. Then you get a spot you can set a phone, some storage space, a spot you can set a water bottle, you get your speaker. This is, I'll put this seat up so you get a view of what it looks like. I'm gonna push this back a little bit more. This is what your seats look like. Boom. Very comfortable seats. And then one thing I do like about these seats is that if you came over to here, you see this little thing, if you pulled up on that, that is going to give you access to recline these seats, or you could bring the seat forward. So let me see. Basically, this would be like its normal position right about here, but if I wanted to recline it, I pull up on that, and then I can recline the seats. So that is definitely nice. And then up top here, you get a no poop panel, a spot you could set your dry cleaning. You get 3 seat back pockets behind both seats. You get 2 HVAC vents. You get heated outboard second row seats, both with 2 levels of adjustability. You get a USB-A port, you get a USB-C port. They have a little outline for lights, so you can plug into them easier at night. Then you also get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. It is nicely padded. Then you also get an LED dome light here for the second row passengers as well. Same stuff on that side with the dry cleaning hook, the OPU panel, so on and so forth. I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of that knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, I've got plenty of headroom left over as well. I think if I was 6'3", I'd still be comfortable here in these second row seats. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Touring XT. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. That's the first time I've done pretty well going over the speed bumps at 5. Sometimes I do like 7, maybe 3, but today's been decent. Maybe I jinxed it. Let's see if I can get 5 again. Okay, see, I've messed it up. I'm gonna give this thing an 8.2 on a scale of 1 to 10. It did very well going over those speed bumps. Let's test the handling. So you got to do a nice maneuver. That is what I like about the Outback in comparison to the Forester, is that the Outback handles better. And that's because it seems like it's got a lower center of gravity. Even though I think they have about the same amount of ground clearance. The reason I'm talking about the center of gravity is because the Forester has a very high roof line, whereas the Outback's roof line is slim and sleek and it's lower. And that's one of the reasons I do like the Outback better, is just, you know, I think it looks better. But it also just drives better, in my opinion. I know they drive similar-ish, but I personally like the way that the Outback drives better. So here's a nice little acceleration with the XT engine. I mean, it's got plenty of get-up. It's plenty quick. I mean, 6 seconds 0 to 60 is pretty dang respectable. I know it's not the fastest thing in the world, but I think people who are getting one of these don't really care that much about speed in that way. Yes, they want something that's going to be quick, and they want something that's going to be, you know, easy to maneuver and just, you know, dart around people in traffic. And this thing's got the power to dart around people in traffic if that's what you want to do. One thing I do like about the Touring XT, and this is a very small thing, but it really just makes the interior feel a lot more premium, is the leather wrapped steering wheel. That makes a big difference. I know it's a very small thing, and I know it should not matter, but it really does just add to the premiumness of a vehicle. It doesn't matter if it's this, if it's a Honda, if it's a Toyota. Really, just, you're always touching the steering wheel, right? So you want a nice touch point, and the Touring XT has a very nice feeling steering wheel. It's very just soft leather. It feels great in your hands, and I definitely appreciate the leather wrapped steering wheel on the Touring XT. Now, it's got great power. Fuel economy is pretty good as well, and it just cruises very well. You know, it's very comfortable suspension. The seats themselves are also very comfortable. I love the adjustable headrests. That makes a big difference in comfortability, and I don't understand why Subaru did away with the adjustable headrests on the Crosstrek and the Impreza. It makes no sense to me. I think that was a massive mistake, because the older Crosstreks and Imprezas had the adjustable headrests like this Outback does. So adjustable headrests make a massive difference when it comes to the comfortability of a vehicle, because you can adjust the headrests forward and you can rest your neck on it on a long road trip while still like having the optimal neck position for driving. So I definitely like that. I apologize if I sound kind of nasally. My nose is kind of clogged up, and then I also, like in my last video, I had a very scratchy throat. I'm coming off of a little cold. I know it's a cold, it's nothing else, but I just wanted to let that be known. But take a listen to what this thing sounds like cruising at about 55. We're gonna go over some bridge joints. It's windy out. It is very well insulated from the outside world, and it seems like, in comparison to like some of the lower trim levels, and this could be totally placebo, just letting you know, but it seems like it's better insulated than some of the lower trim levels. And again, that could be placebo, but that's just the way that I feel. It just sounds a little bit quieter, and again, I could be totally wrong with that, but that's just something that I've observed personally. Now, a couple things I wanted to say, as I really, like I mentioned, like the digital rear view mirror. It rids you of your blind spots. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but personally, I do like it. Now, this is what it's showing you. It's counting how long on this trip the auto stop start system has been off for, and how much fuel it has saved with the auto stop start system down in there. Personally, for me, if this was my vehicle, I'd click this button each and every time I got in this, because I do not like auto stop start. I don't care if it saves me half a gallon of fuel over the course of a year. I don't care. I don't want it. So I'm not a fan of the auto stop start system, and I know there are a lot of people out there who feel the same exact way as me. So that is the button you'd want to click every time you got in this vehicle if you did not like the auto stop start system. I'll show you the button again. It's this one right here. When it's green, it is on. When it is not green, it is not on, and I would never want that on. So anyways, here's a little acceleration, normal acceleration. Get on it a little bit now. Very, very good acceleration, and I will be flooring it here in a minute, but I just wanted to do a couple just regular accelerations because, you know, I know a lot of you are not going to be flooring this thing around everywhere, and you want to see what it's like when you drive it and you're not flooring it and you're just doing normal accelerations. Now, if you wanted to pass somebody, I'll try to see if I can't get a little passing test from like 50 to 70 or 45 to 65 or something like that, but as of right now, you may be able to tell there's a little bit of traffic, so I don't want to do that, but I'll see if I can't do it. Floored. You see, it's got that power. It's got that power that you want. You know what I mean? You can just zoom around somebody, no problem. I think that actually the MDX flashed that guy in the A6 to get out of the lane, which is kind of funny because I'm not driving that fast anymore, but definitely got passing power. Very, very good passing power. So if you're looking for an Outback, you're like, I don't know if it's got the power that I'm looking for, get the XT engine. I'm telling you, it does have enough power, and you'll be pleasantly surprised by how quick the XT feels, the XT engine feels, in comparison to the non-XT. The non-XT, not all that fast, and I could definitely not drive one of those every day, even though I drive a Ridgeline, Honda Ridgeline 2007, and it is slow as molasses. But it's paid for, so I can suck it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So this thing, plenty of get up, decent fuel economy. I wanted to get into the sound system a little bit because the Harman Kardon sound system sounds great in comparison. Well, it sounds great, but in comparison to the standard sound system is not good. It is not good, and I would definitely recommend the Harman Kardon sound system to anybody who likes a good sounding sound system. The Harman Kardon sounds great. So I'm going to do another little acceleration here for you. This one I'm going to do a floored. See what I'm saying? It's got really, really good get up, and you would be surprised, you know, if you didn't know much about Subaru and you're like, maybe Subarus are kind of slow, and you get behind the wheel of one of these things and you floored it. I've made a video about this actually before. I made a YouTube short, literally, of me doing a 0 to 60 test on the Touring XT, and people were like, oh, it's slow, you don't know what you're talking about, because in the video I said, this thing is actually really quick. And a few people were like, oh, it's slow, you don't know what you're talking about, you never driven anything fast, which I've driven many fast vehicles, many fast vehicles at this point. And this thing is quick. Is it fast? No. Is it quick? It's rather quick. So get behind the wheel of one of these things, test one out for yourself, and you'll see that it is very, very quick. But again, just to summarize, it's comfortable, it's got all the features you could want. The only neg that I have for this vehicle is that it does not have a 360-degree view camera system. It needs a 360-degree view camera system, and that would just be the cherry on top. But the Honda CR-V does not have a 360-degree view camera system on their top trim level either, so it just is what it is. I would like to see one be added to the Touring XT on the update whenever the update comes, or the refresh. But yeah, sound system sounds great. It's got all the features you want. Very comfortable ride, very comfortable seat. It's just a great vehicle overall for the money. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, just please take a second to give it a thumbs up, to leave a comment in the comment section down below, as well as hit that subscribe button. Again, the likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So I'd appreciate it if you do those 3 things, but only if you enjoyed the video. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.